With that, hello everyone. I'm pleased to welcome you to the third webinar for the Doctor Interested webinar series. My name is Adam Muki and I am the Executive Director of Doctor Interested. It is a pleasure to be hosting you all for this meeting. Um, just a little housekeeping. Please try to keep your cameras on as this will foster a sense of community. Remain muted unless speaking so everyone can hear clearly, and stay engaged through the chat or by raising your hand. And before we get started, we would like to acknowledge that this event is being organized in Mississauga, Ontario, which is situated on the traditional and treaty territories of the Mississaugas of the Credit First Nation. As we gather virtually here today, we encourage all participants to reflect on the lands they are joining from and to recognize the enduring presence and contributions of Indigenous peoples across Turtle Island, now known as Canada, and the world. Along with that, this is a reminder to join the certificate stream of the webinar series. This will give you an opportunity to collect a portfolio at the end of the series, to collect a certificate at the end of the series for your portfolio, to build out your resume, and just to get a chance to learn from medical students and university students as well. Speaker for today is Valen. I'm going to switch over so you can start his slideshow. You're
Hello,
presenting?
everybody. Happy to be here myself, and thank you for being here. I will be starting the presentation now.
Yeah.
Um, that is when Adil allows screen sharing for me.
Whoops. Which button is that in here? Uh, please hold. There you go. Wait. No, that's not it. One of these has to be it. Oh, there you go. Okay. Now
Okay.
try.
Oh, yeah. It works. All
Yay.
right. All right. So today we're going to be talking about pre-med pre-med competitions. So what these are is if you're familiar with all those math competitions, these competitions are basically like those competitions, except they involve pre-med topics or topics in science and general biology. And why should you do or consider participating in them is that they can help you learn more about medicine and biology, so you can explore different fields of medicine and biology and gain an understanding at a early age. And also, if you do well in them, it's a resume booster. And yeah, with that, I am going to be start talking about the most famous um, pre-med competition of all times. It is literally called the Health Occupation Students of America, and it also has a branch in Canada. So if you live in America or in Ontario, Canada, you can participate in HOSA. And what HOSA is yeah. So if you can see the change screen, this is basically HOSA, and HOSA hosts in-person competitions in Canada and Ontario. And there are many different types of competitions that it hosts. So if you see here, it has competitions in many different topics. It's really ideal for exploring different aspects of medicine and biomedical sciences. Some of these are test-based events. Others are skill-based events where you show where you do a lab. Others are presentation-based events where you do a presentation. Others are poster based events like this one. So really, and others are debate like this one, biomedical debate right here. So really, there's a lot of diversity of events, and you can pick what you like to explore it. And yeah, and also HOSA, this is special about HOSA Canada, and I think if you live in the US, you should check if your state offers this. But HOSA also offers these workshops. So if you attend, you get these workshops and seminars. Workshops are in person, seminars are online. So if you attend these, HOSA rewards you for attending them and learning about medicine. So there are these badges. I got the bronze badge last year by attending some of these seminars and workshops. So yeah. The problem with the HOSA is that it's kind of expensive, and also it's completely in person. So if you're not in the US, say, or if you're not in Ontario, then you can't really participate in it. um, which is not. By the way, another thing, if you do well, HOSA has like two sections in Canada and three in the USA. So if you do well in the regionals in the USA, you can go to the nationals, and if you do well in the nationals, you can go to the internationals in the USA. And in Canada, if you do, there's only the nationals. If you do well in the nationals, you can go to the internationals. So that's that in the competitions. So that's basically its structure. But yeah, the problem is it's very expensive and you have to live in the USA or Canada. Um, and if your school doesn't have a HOSA chapter, or if your community doesn't, you can start your own HOSA chapter. And there are some problems with it, which this competition does not share. This is the United States Medicine and Diseases Olympiad. So the United States Medicine and Diseases Olympiad is a competition on cell biology, genetics, and anatomy and physiology. So basically, all the important pre-medicine stuff. It is quite a difficult competition, but they compensate for that by offering a lot of medals. And if you do really well in this, you qualify for the International Medicine and Diseases Olympiad. So yeah, I myself, I got a silver medal this year in the USMDO, and it's completely online, so you can write it from anywhere basically. All you need is a computer, and the registration fee, it's pretty cheap. So yeah, the USMDO is something worth considering. There's also other competitions similar to HOSA and USMDO, like MedSpin, which you can try participating in if you live in Southeast Asia, because they don't allow participants outside of Southeast Asia. And also, um, there's also UK MDO, which is just USMDO but worse. So I recommend just taking the USMDO if you're going to do it. But yeah, also, unlike the name suggests, you don't need to be American to take the USMDO. You can be from any country and take the USMDO. Yeah. And if you're interested in healthcare policy, I think law competitions would be something you might be able to look into. So this is a very Canadian law contest by the Canadian Bar Association. In other parts of the world, there must be law competitions in your region or other international law competitions. If you don't live in Canada and you're interested in healthcare policy, I encourage you to seek them out if you want to participate. But this one here, you can see there's health law, student essay competition, and yeah, so this might be something you want to look into if you're interested in like healthcare policy and public health. Eight. So moving on, if you're interested in psychology, psychiatry, or mental health, there are these two major contests. There must be others as well, but there's of course the International Psychology Olympiad, and the International Psychology Olympiad is also a low cost Olympiad, and you write it, and it's also completely virtual, so completely online. So it's very similar to the USMDO in that aspect. And so it's part test writing and the part research proposal presentation. And there's also the TOPS competition by the American Psychological Association. So basically, the American Psychological Association has this video making competition. And you don't, again, once again, you don't need to be American to join this competition. As it says here, international students can compete as well. Yeah, and it's a video making competition. So if that's your cup of tea, you should try that. And moving on, if you're interested in research, so that's like finding out new things in mostly science, and in this case, biology and medicine, because we're talking about pre-med competitions, there is the high school academic research competition. So the high school academic research competition, also known as SARC, is a research proposal writing competition. So basically, you write a research proposal, and if you don't know what a research proposal is that you basically propose to do an experiment, in this case in biology or medicine, and you need to write about why it's important to do that experiment, what are the future steps if the experiment is successful, how you're going to do the experiment, and you need to write about all that. And this one is also completely online, and you can participate from anywhere in the world. All you need to do is you write your research proposal, then you submit it before the deadline. um, yeah, so I want to talk a bit more about this. So yeah, if you go to Competition Hub, you can find the past winners. You can find the research proposals of the past winners. Um, so I think that's a really good way to because because you don't know what kinds of research proposals win, but if you look at this, you will, because these are research proposals that won. And to look more closely at a research proposal, let's go to these research proposals and what's a good medical one? This one is a good medical one. Let me share this tab. So here you can see the formatting and all that, but here they give an introduction to the whole thing here, and they do it very detailed, and they do their citations correctly, and they explain why this is important in the introduction. Um, Here they talk about what work has been done in the field already. And here they talk about their new experiment, which they're gonna do, which is supposed to address amyotrophic lateral sclerosis, which is a very horrible disease where you basically can't move and can't breathe, and then you die. Um, yeah, it's pretty bad. Stephen Hawking had a mild version of it, but yeah, they address how to how this experiment, which will progress amyotrophic lateral sclerosis research, and they have their techniques. The techniques are very specific and well laid out. And then they write a conclusion, and their references are in correct format. So here, this would be a good example of a research proposal, and clearly it is, considering that it was one of the winning research proposals. So this is what that will look like, and success in this competition basically revolves around reading the success criteria and looking at the past research proposals. So, and there's also something else if you're interested in research. So there are these competitions called science fairs. So science fairs, you're not just doing research proposals where you're proposing to do an experiment. In science fairs, you actually do the experiments. So this can take the form of either you contact a university professor or someone in the field of your interest and do an experiment with them. And that's why it's very hard, because it's hard to find contacts like that who will be willing to do a project with you. Or you can get into coding and do a project based on that. So now, if you're taking the first route with the professor, that can be very hard. But I think there are a lot of resources out there to help you, including emailing templates, how to find a good topic, and how to convince a professor, and all those resources. So you can try to convince a professor to do an experiment, and yeah, and there's also resources on how to come up with the topic for the experiment. And there's also coding. So if you're interested in medicine and you want to go to science fair, but you don't want to email professors because they like ignore you 90% of the time, then you can do a project in coding and like computational biology. And yeah, so basically, science fairs, there are regional science fairs. And if you do well in the regionals, you go to the nationals. If you do well in the nationals, you go to the internationals. That's how they work. Yeah. Um, so moving on. If you're interested in neuroscience, which I know a lot of people are, you can try the Brain Bee. A lot of countries have the Brain Bee. which is basically an in-person neuroscience competition where you have to write some tests about neuroscience, and based on how well you do, you get to represent your country in the international Brain Bee or get some qualifications and all that. And if your country does not have the Brain Bee, or if you don't want to go in person, then I recommend the Brain Blitz competition. The Brain Blitz competition is a neuroscience. It's a series of neuroscience competitions that are written and they're completely online. And also, I believe they're free of cost. Like you don't need to pay anything. I think you just need to register before the deadline. So yeah, I think they're really worth checking out. And there's also general biology contests. So these tests topics from zoology, botany, anatomy and physiology, genetics, cell biology. So that's why they're called general biology contests. So there are these things called the biology Olympiads. And the biology Olympiads basically there's one in most countries, and the biology Olympiads basically pick people to represent their country in the International Biology Olympiad. And there's also other medals, even if you're not that good, not as good enough to represent your country in the International Biology, because that's really hard. So there's the Canadian Biology Olympiad, American Biology Olympiad. Some biology Olympiads restrict international participants, others don't. So the USA Bio-Olympiad does not restrict international participants. The Canadian Biology Olympiad does. So if your country doesn't have a Biology Olympiad, I recommend checking those Biology Olympiads, which do allow international students. Um, and there are also other general biology contests depending on your country, and also international ones. Some are even free of cost, so I recommend like checking those out. There's information on them on the internet. There in Canada, I know there's also the National Biology Competition, which yeah. And if your school doesn't have a biology Olympiad, you should ask a teacher to either start a club or simply host the biology Olympiad, and hopefully the teacher will say yes. Yeah. Um, moving on. There are also other STEM competitions, like if you want to explore other fields. Um, there's there's some sound coming. Is it from me? Oh, never mind. It's not coming anymore. Um, yeah, okay. Let's move on. Other STEM competitions exist too. So there just like the biology Olympiad, there's the chemistry Olympiad, math Olympiad, physics Olympiad, earth science Olympiad, astrophysics Olympiad, a lot of Olympiads. And if you're interested in exploring other fields, those are very good as well. If you're interested in going into something like medicinal chemistry or pharmacology, where you make medicines, medicines are basically chemicals, so chemistry, looking into chemistry Olympiads, that's a pretty good idea. If you want to go into bioengineering, looking into chemistry competitions, math competitions, um, physics competitions can also be a good idea. And there's this website called Sidasan, which I can link if you guys want. But basically, the Sidasan has a list of lots of Olympiads. So, say you're a student, you're interested in medicinal chemistry and pharmacology, and you want to find a chemistry competition to participate in. You click here, and there's all these chemistry competitions. And let's say you are from Australia, you click this, and you basically like read about it, and then hopefully register for it, study for it, and do well. And yeah, Sidasan, um, Sida's done a website is really good for finding these competitions. So yeah, and also if you're interested in exploring different fields and you live in Ontario, there's this thing called the Explore 3 contest. So it is taking place at I believe Ryerson, and it is exploring finance, medicine, and law. So if you have trouble between picking fields, then and also live in Ontario, Canada, I highly recommend checking out the Explore 3 contest. It's on the Doctor Interested Discord server, um, and also the Instagram page. So yeah, there are all these questions that get asked about these contests. So what questions like what to study and prepare? When is the contest? How long does is the paper? And the website almost always has all the answers. So to give you an example, let's say you are interested, you want to be a psychiatrist, or you think you want to be a psychiatrist, and you're interested in the International Psychology Olympiad, but you don't know the first thing about it. What you do is you go to the website and you look for information about it, like obviously. So here they give you an overview, and here they already have the registration date and all the information for that, right? And if you want to, you look at resources. Oh, wait, what's that? That's a syllabus. That's what you should study. And these are books. You should study these as well. And these are sample questions. You can do them to prepare. So oftentimes, if you're wondering questions like how do I prepare, and questions about the contest, the website almost always has the answer. So, for example, if you want to do well, you read this book, you maybe check out the syllabus and see if the book covers everything. And if it doesn't, then study other things as well. And then look at the sample questions as well. If you do that, you're probably going to um, get something in the International Psychology Olympiad, right? And then that's going to help you learn more about psychology. That's going to help you boost your resume so that when you go to get that psychology degree in undergrad, your admissions officer will look at this and be like, wow, that's really good, right? Yeah, so the website almost always answers all of these questions. And obviously the books, if you can, a lot of these contests have books which you need to study. Um, so if you can afford the books, buy them. You can get them for cheap at thrift stores. But if you can't afford them, you live in poverty or something, there's this website called Anna's Archive, which you absolutely must never use. Um, it has a lot of books for completely free, like a lot of books for completely free, and it has no viruses at all, and it has reasonable downloading time. Anyways, what was I saying? Yeah, yeah, that's the end of my presentation actually. So if anyone has any questions, I'd be happy to take them.
Okay, perfect. Just to clarify, we do not recommend you use this. However, we are saying that it is out there. Definitely do not use. Questions. We have one in the chat. Any age limits? I assume for any competition in general or a specific one? Any in general, yeah.
Okay, so what's the question?
Age limits for competitions.
Oh, so basically, most competitions are grade 9 to grade 12. And if you're taking a gap year in between or multiple gap years, then you can still participate. So it's based on your grade level as opposed to age level most of the time. But in any case, the age level max is like 20 and minimum is like 13 in most competitions.
Yeah.
Um, Best one for a grade 10 depends on your interest. What are you interested in, Ananya? That's crazy. Uh, you're interested in winning. I don't know. I mean, check out different contests and see what one you like the most, and I would say participate in that. And if it has a reputation for being very hard, then and you really want to win your first try, maybe avoid that and go for an
Uh,
easier one instead.
Personally, I think Valen knows, but I found CBO quite easy just because there's a lot of math behind it, which is like usually concrete that you can get it right. Um, yeah.
So the Canadian Biology Olympiad is actually not easy, but people's
Hmm.
brains work in different ways, which is why Adil finds it easy. But most people would not find it easy because it's the qualifier for the International Biology Olympiad, so it is like difficult. So John Maxwell Luther asks, any virtual opportunities in biology, chemistry, or neuroscience, please? So for neuroscience, there is this thing called the Brain Blitz. Um, right here. This one is completely virtual and free of cost. And for biology, if you want biology, there's there are several free biology contests. I think you can find biology contests using the website I recommended. So CIDA's done. I think you can use that to find general biology contests which are completely virtual. I think you'll find some good ones. And for chemistry, again, I think you can use Sida-san to find. Because you want a fully virtual competition, right? So that's a bit of a difficulty. But with Sida-san, you should be able to find um, fully virtual ones. Okay. The Olympiad has an application cost of $10, but is not guaranteed. Yes. What is the purpose of the fee? Because they want to make money. That's it. How often do these X3 competitions take place in any role? Okay, Adil already answered that. Would you say any research projects or Olympiads are more impressive in uni applications? Darlin, your name is Darlin. So, some research projects and some Olympiads are more impressive than others. It depends on the prestige. For example, the Canadian Biology Olympiad is a national level contest, right? And it's a qualifier for the International Biology Olympiad. So it would, and it's a really difficult competition. So it would be prestigious, as opposed to if there's a biology contest made by your school club, that would be less prestigious than the Canadian Biology Olympiad, obviously. So, yeah, there are some that are more prestigious than others in uni applications. Any more questions? How do you find these websites and competitions? I feel like they're hard to find. Well, as I said before, CDAS Dan is a pretty good resource, but if it's not there in CDAS Dan, I think you can browse around in Google, and if you really can't find them, I think if you're in the Doctor Interested server, you can literally email me. My name is Valen. My Discord tag should be Arndil. So yeah, my name is Valen. That's also on the server. How do I find competitions and Olympiads in my own country? Sabrina, I don't know which country you live in, but again, CDASDAN lists a lot of competitions in various countries. But yeah, and there are also several international competitions. Like I said, the International Psychology Olympiad, that's international and fully online. The United States Medicine and Diseases Olympiad, that's international and fully online. So yeah. Our workshops and seminars from HOSA are online and workshops are in person. However, I believe this is a Canada only thing and not all US states may offer this. Workshops are in person, seminars are online. Any more questions?
Okay, so before we do end off, I do just want to say if you have any other questions, you can put them on the Discord server, either under the help tab or by booking a meeting with one of our mentors in the office hours channel. This is just a reminder that office hours are open and free for everybody. You can book a 15-minute meeting with anyone you would like, including myself, including medical students, including people that have kind of gone through the entire pre-med journey, and would definitely be able to advise you in regards to competitions, along with anything else you're pursuing. Thank you everyone for joining us today. And this recording will be posted on YouTube, so you can review the slides and the recording there if you would like. Thank you. Bye. Oh, wait, one sec. I forgot
And
the.
by the way, if you have any questions about this presentation specifically and you didn't have time to ask them here, you can literally just ping me. My name is Valen, Velan, and that should be my name on the Discord, Dr. Interested Discord server as well. So
Yeah.
feel free to ping me or DM me.
And in the chat, everyone can see the link for the attendance for the certificate stream. Please fill it out within the next, I mean, next couple minutes so that I can close it back up after. Oh, you might have to reload. I just opened it.
Yes, Rachel, they are hosted in Ontario, Toronto to be specific.
Okay, everyone, the meeting is going to end. Thank you all for joining. Make sure to fill out the attendance form